YouTube family. So I don't know exactly where I left off, but I cut down a bunch of stuff, getting it all ready to mill, and I started milling, and I was having some complications. As you can see, I was milling and I got to this point to where it was getting really stuck. I started at 5/8 and I was getting down here and it was getting down to like around an inch. And it's actually crazy. See how that is angled down there? That is like really angled down. So the bar was literally just bending like that much, to where it's still 5/8 on the sides, but down in the middle it's getting down to like an inch. That might even be like 1.25 inches when I measured it. And then I went over here and I was like, okay, let me try a new chain. Or actually I was using a new chain when it was doing that. So then I put on an old chain that I had to test it and see if it was the chain. And I don't know if it was really, it looks like it's going down pretty much. But anyway, I got to about right there and it just wasn't cutting. I don't know if it was the old chain or it was binding or what was going on. I'm thinking that was close to a week ago. I went ahead and I was like, heck with all the problems and binding and all this stuff. It was just, I felt like I was just wasting time and energy on something that wasn't working out. So what I did was I ordered a brand new bar and a brand new chain, and I'm about to put those on the saw and get back in it with just a new bar, new chain. Then I'm not guessing, oh, is it the bar that's messing up or the chain that's digging down and forcing the bar to bend. I did put a level up against my bar here. Let me move this a little bit. But anyway, I guess I don't really have to show you, but when I put a level on this, you can definitely see a tad bit of bow in it. But I think that's from where maybe the chain was actually digging down and forcing the bar to go down, which bent the bar. So I don't know, I just wanted to start fresh again. So we got this guy right here and a brand new chain. It's the same exact bar as this. So this one, I'm not giving up on this bar. I'll still use it. Maybe like if I decide I need to do any freehand cutting, I guess I could just use this bar for that, because I think the tip would be just fine for freehanding stuff. That's what I started out doing when we first bought the property. I was actually freehanding wood and it was okay. They were definitely not perfect boards. But sometimes if you want to mill something like a 4x4 or a 4x6, something bulkier, you can freehand them. They're not going to be perfect. If you use the mill first, you know, you'll have a perfect cut all the way through. Like if you want a 4x6, you know, the long cuts you could do with the mill and make them perfect, and then freehand the sides if you need to. I don't know. I'm just gonna take this thing off, sit it to the side, and not really mess with it. I'm just gonna start fresh. So I'm about to put this brand new bar on here. I'm gonna clean up the saw, blow it out, the air compressor, take it apart, blow it all out, get the filter clean, all that good stuff, and then I'm gonna start milling again. There we go. We're gonna leave that bar right there with those milling chains. I don't know if this is kind of the newer one. I'm thinking there might not be anything really wrong with that chain. But if I ever want to do some freehand stuff, that's gonna be there. I'll probably never put that bar in the mill again since it's kind of bent. And this one here, that's my crosscut bar and chain. This one's 0.063, that one's 0.050. They're both 3/8. So they both work on my saw. but that one's just for cross cutting. I guess this one now is just going to be for freehanding or whatever if I ever need to somewhere. Air compressor and a blower nozzle. It's a chainsaw owner's best friend right here. Especially that oil port right there, you definitely want that oil port to stay clean. No debris and stuff in there that'll clog that up. You definitely want your bar to keep that oil flowing. Especially a long bar like this, because you got a long way for that oil to travel through, so you want to keep that flowing good. Pretty much every day that I use this saw, I take it apart and blow it after a day of work or a project or something that I'm cutting. I pretty much do that every time, just keep the saw nice and clean. So now I'm going to turn around, take this cover off, blow off the filter, get all the dust all out of there and blow all these holes out, and especially around the fuel and oil. I like to keep it all as clean as possible so it runs nice and clean. So even though this cover's on there, you still get a lot of dust in there. Look at that. Watch how much dust disappears there. See? Look at that. There's a lot of dust. So it's good to get all that out of there. There we go. I probably ought to actually wear earplugs when I do that. That is really loud with that air compressor like that. That air blowing in there, that's actually real loud. But I'm gonna blow this piece off, put it back together, and put the brand new bar and chain on here. I'm actually pretty excited. Oregon. Let me see, 105 drive links, 3/8 ripping chain, standard sequence. And 32 inch, 050, 3/8, 105 drive links. So. Alright, I cut that end off over there that was kind of stopping me. So I got this link right here and this link right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mill these and get these out of my way, and I'll be able to clean this up, and I guess we'll work our way down to that piece of oak next. Or I don't know, I might get excited and go do some maple after that. I don't know, but I'm gonna start milling this one right here and see how this thing does now. Hopefully it's nice and flat. I don't know. It seems like it is. It seems pretty nice and flat. So might have a little bit of bow to it from where the thing was going from like 5/8 to an inch and a quarter. I don't know, but once I get that first cut, hopefully we'll be pretty straight and keep on going. And I figure I can get some decent boards out of that to use for something. I don't know. I'd hate to waste it because this stuff doesn't burn very good, so the more lumber I get out of it, the better. And this one, I don't know if I want to start in the same, I definitely do not want to start in the same spot where I was, because it probably wedged down a little. So I don't know if I should just drop this dang thing on the ground, or if I should, I mean, milling uphill, I guess milling uphill standing up is easier than milling on the ground. So anyway, I'm gonna start on this one right here. How's it going?
Pretty well. How about yourself?
get something to measure this thing. That cut actually went pretty smooth. I hope I can stay consistent with that. I notice it has some marks in it from where I was pulling that other, I don't know what the heck. Some crazy tip marks there. So it looks like on the side over here, it went, trying to see this thing in the camera, make sure it's in the camera. There we go. That's like more than 3/4. It's almost an inch there. And then we're at our 5/8. 5/8. I don't know why that went so wide on that side. Maybe it's just my eyes. I guess my eyes are just playing tricks on me or something. 'Cause it measures. It does look wider, a little wider, but it's no big deal. I think that's just from the top, actually. So. That one's nice. It starts really nice. That's a nice board. And these boards really don't even have to use a wedge. It's so light. As I was cutting it, it's actually bowing up a little bit. Dang right. Let's do another one. I guess I'm gonna just cut a bunch of boards out this. I'm just gonna start milling this thing and I'll show y'all some boards. It's 3 pretty boards so far. And it looks like we're about halfway, so I'll get 3 or 4 more out of that. And now that I got it a little halfway and it was kind of getting low to the ground, I propped it up on a log there. I've noticed these logs that are cut in half like that, those come in handy like this for working on the ground. So I'm gonna start keeping some of those around, like those. I have that one up on, so those help lift it up a little. But let's see, how long are these things? I was thinking we might actually go ahead and use this wood on something cool. 11 footers. Those are nice, actually. Dang, even though I cut that log in half, these are still nice 11 footers. So we're gonna have probably 6 or 7 of these. So let's walk over here and see if they'll work for my idea. I'm pretty sure they will. 6 of them. We'll see. Okay. So we know we're messy. We see that in the comments a lot. We know that. We're messy. We're camping out. So, I mean, you can use your time to comment and say you need to clean up that mess. And we still probably won't really care. You know what I mean? But we do try to clean up a little for being on camera. But at this point, I wasn't actually planning on recording this. So this might be cleaned up in one of the next scenes. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was thinking about using some of this wood right here for this wall. Now that I'm looking at it, they're not gonna reach it all the way across. Let me measure that actually. All right, so that's 13 foot all the way across. So that might not work unless I do something different. Maybe like have a different opening because I don't know, I was thinking about using wood here and creating like a pretty wall with wood, but have the cracks open and put screen across it, you know, and just have a nice screen wall. But on the other side, you know, you'll see screen on the inside. The other side will be a nice wall. Seems like Holly was saying she would want them horizontal. So I could always just wait until I mill longer boards. That was just an idea I was having, like, I could just start taking some of this wood out there right now and using it. We could have them up and down. That'd look cool too. I don't know. I'll have to ask Holly. I'm gonna get back to milling. Well, I spent the majority of the day really just focusing on putting a new bar and chain on the saw and cleaning it up, putting the mill on it. But I actually came out here and did a lot this evening too. Look at all them boards. So I got 6 out of it. I was thinking I might get 7. I actually probably could if I really wanted to, but I like these logs too. I might, the fronts, the faces, I like those too for stuff, you know, kind of like this project I'm working on. You know, I kind of put them log faces up and use them as walls. And I'm thinking about doing that to the lumber rack cabin back there also, you know, eventually. And but I got those 6. I could have got a 7th, but I'm just gonna leave it. That's like it's kind of like a dang 2x6 right there, really. But and then I got, let me see, what did I get? 3, 6, 7, 8 out of that big one right there. So, and I could actually get one more if I really wanted to out of that. But got some short boards. I didn't even measure them. I don't have my tape. I'm guessing they're a good 5 foot, but easy 4, probably more like 5 foot. So tomorrow I'll come out and I'll take a face off maybe the maple and maybe cut some of this oak also. I think I'm gonna I gotta do the oak different. This oak, I'm actually gonna start from the top. I'm just gonna have to set the mill thicker. I'm gonna set it thicker down so I can get a start fresh and do a new cut. And then that thick piece, I'll just use that for something, whatever. And that'll be kind of a thin piece there. But I'm gonna start fresh, a whole new cut, and then get, I don't know, however many boards off of it I can. Then we got those. I'm not really too worried about these oaks. Like, I'm not in a super hurry. Because the oak, I mean, it's just, oak is oak. I mean, it's pretty, it's beautiful. But I'm really excited about milling the maples. Those are gonna be really pretty. So, these are really pretty too. Especially for walls or siding. These are really pretty. Or deck boards. But yeah, man, if you put a finish on this stuff, it's gonna pop and it's just gonna be, it's gonna have the wow effect. Well, this is one of my biggest obstacles out here. Every time I get freaking milling and get in the groove, this happens. Rain. Every single time. Every time. Anyway, I stacked my boards over there, put a tarp over them, keep those dry. It rained off and on all day yesterday, and now this morning. But yesterday, even when it was raining, I was still working on the shelter a little bit. I added a bunch more rafters. I actually took a couple ugly ones out of here and added a lot more rafters up here. So, even when I'm not milling, I'm working on little projects. I also started digging me a hole right here. Lots of dirt. I want 2 posts right here because I have this really nice bar that has gotten very dirty. I might have to sand it and finish it eventually once I get it up, but I'm trying to dig 2 holes right here for 2 posts to sit my my nice live edge work bar here. That way I'll have a nice spot right here by my window and my view to, you know, work on chainsaws. I'll be able to sit my big saw up here and separate it, you know, from the mill and do what I got to do up here. And then I can take it over here to my sharpening spot where I usually sharpen them. But yeah, this is what's up.